talk about symbolism, which is very dominant in this story. First of all, we have the doll's house, and it symbolizes that the Bernals are the upper class or belong to the upper class. Of course, there's nothing so special and significant about the doll's house as as regarded whether it's important or not. However, high class people are kind of um, hypocrites. They are filled with hypocrisy, which is kind of absurdity or being silly. The Bernals are different to other people because they have a doll's house. So do you see? This is just an example, of course, and the doll's house can be substituted by a, for example, fancy car or by a fancy house or by anything special that distinguishes a family from other families. Having a doll's house sets them apart from the rest of the community. Bernal children are only sent to the local school because there is no other school available. So, do you see here? There is a justification for why they are sent to a local school, even to be kind of um, getting to uh, interfere or to manage their daily life with people of lower classes, which is something unacceptable. This shows that their parents did not want to send them to school where different social classes are mixed. Again, we go back to discrimination and segregation. The smell coming from the doll's house, it's a symbol of upper class that looks down upon those less fortunate than themselves, which are the lower class. Of course, they believe that the lower class people are less fortunate and they are miserable and whatever. The smell suggests that the attitude of the upper class towards the lower class is not good, and this is how the community is divided. The gate on which Kezia is swinging and which she opens for the Kelvies is also or stands as a symbol of a barrier between the upper class people and the lower class people. It's a social prejudice, as we said here. Another word for prejudice is bias. The little lamp inside the doll's house symbolizes hope, as we said, hope for the Kelvies and also hope for Kezia. A lamp is a source of light, okay, where elements of class distinction and social prejudice will be broken when one day, irrespective of their social circumstances, people will be treated equally. Of course, regarding the figures of speech, we have simile and metaphor. As for simile, for example, the door gleaming with yellow varnish was like a little slap, rather like a nightgown, as if they were chickens or whatever. As for the metaphor, of course, it's another figure of speech where we compare but without using as or like. So she was a tiny wishbone of a child, as if I'm saying she was like a tiny wishbone, but of course there's no like. A little white owl burning with shame. Regarding the tone of the writer, of course, it's mean, scornful, harsh tone. The girls are mean to the Kelvies when they say hurtful words to them. Aunt Beryl uses a mean tone when she scolds also the Kelvies. And on the other side, there's a hopeful tone with Kezia and Els, where they notice the lamp or the light in the doll's house. Also, when Kezia opens the gate and she welcomes the or invites the Kelvies. As for the mood, which is related to the reader, it's sad, uncaring, cold, and desperate, of course, because of the social uh, the discrimination or discrepancy. At the same time, it's sympathetic with the lower class people and optimistic because one day, of course, they're going to show people or everyone that this is very trivial and silly, and of course, all people are born equal, and this is how they should be.